back at the pool, and another final coming up, the men's 200 butterfly. And Chad le Clos, the great South African butterfly, a chance to swim for some history here. Brendan Smith is in this field. Chance for him to race for another medal. Silver medalist in the 400 IM, bronze medalist in Tokyo, PB in the heat. And he'll have some company with Bowen Goff on debut, the 24-year-old. He'll be in lane 6 here.
It's 20 years since Australians have actually won this event. And it's an event that we've done reasonably well at, but it's meant that the gold medal has actually eluded us, and we've been looking at the minor medals for most of that time. Interestingly, in this race, we actually have some swimmers that we've seen up before as they walk out here now. Kiwi Lewis Clareburt is the fastest qualifier. He won the 400 IM last night, and Duncan Scott, he's the third fastest in this race. And Scott was he won the 200 meters freestyle and was third in the 400 meters IM last night. But of course, the person outside of the Australians, and that's Bowen Goff as he walks out, is Chad le Clos, looking at whether he can match some of the expectations around him and also create his own part of history. There's a big roar for Duncan Scott, already successful here, as I mentioned. And let's see what can happen as we come into this. The 200 fly, the world record was actually accomplished, and this is for Chad le Clos. Very successful from the 2012 Olympic Games, and has continued that success, especially on at the Commonwealth Games. His father, Bert le Clos, and his mum, his brother, who happens to be martial arts fighter. And this is the fastest qualifier, the Kiwi, Lewis Clareburt.
So Chad le Clos, lane 5, to become just the second athlete in Commonwealth Games history to win the same event at 4 consecutive games. David Bryant, the other in lawn bowls, he did it between 62 and 78. 1 games missing. 1966, the singles lawn bowls was not held, but Bryant came back another 3 times and got it done. So it really is a rare place in history for Chad le Clos, the great South African, famously, of course, beat Michael Phelps at the Olympics in this event back in
2012. So in the London Olympics, and one thing about Chad le Clos, he's a bit like a hunter, like someone like Kyle Chalmers. He wants to see what his competitors are doing. He wants to stare them down in the last part of the race. That means he actually turns his head to find motivation, which means that you're offset in your stroke, which is not actually accurate, but if it gets you to the wall first, no one really minds.
Bowen Goff, lane 6. 24-year-old from Bass originally, small town southeast of Melbourne. Used to train in Wonthaggi with the South Gippsland Bass Swimming Club under Ivan Moore. And Brendan Smith, lane 8. So the 2 Aussies away, men's 200 butterfly, and lane 5, Chad le Clos swimming for immortality in the Commonwealth Games swim program with 4 in a row. That's what awaits potentially for him. Alongside him, though, Lewis Clareburt of New Zealand, who won the 400 IM, and Duncan Scott in lane 3 of Scotland won the 200 freestyle on this program. Le Clos away early and well.
He is. He's out well. He's out fast. And for le Clos, what I'd like to see, the way he's bouncing in the water, so look at his hips. He's actually not carrying much water through with it. He's actually hopping on top of the water as he gets over the stroke. But it's going to come down to this second part of the race. It's fine to be out fast in the first part. I've seen Chad le Clos mix it with them in so many different ways. It'll be what he's feeling. He was tight on the wall coming into the turn. But Goff in third place from Australia has to keep up with Guy here as well, and Chad le Clos, to see who's going to be in with the medals.
So it was a very good second 50 for Bowen Goff. He improved from 4th into 3rd, and lane 1, far left of the screen, the red cap, it's James Guy. Keep an eye on him. And now Clareburt starting to close the gap on Chad le Clos. Swimming right up is Bowen Goff. He's a big medal chance here. Le Clos, Guy and Clareburt, and Bowen Goff in 4th spot. Not out of this one. Amazing. What an excellent turn it was.
Amazing turn from Chad le Clos. He's kept himself in the race. James Guy, he will not know where he is, even if he looks to see him. Clareburt should be able to move in a little bit more. The Australian Goff just on the outside.
James Guy, lane 1. He's the danger for Leclos. Clarebert's lifting as well. Leclos in front. Can he hang on? Not going to get there. Clarebert gets it done. His second gold medal of this program. Leclos the silver medal and James Guy third. Well done to the Australians. Bowen Goff's finished fourth in his Commonwealth Games debut. And Brendan Smith in lane 8 in 8th place in that final. What a swim. Chad Leclos silver and Lewis Clarebert gets a double.
What a perfectly executed race by Clarebert. You've got to get your timings right in the 200 butterfly. If you go out too hard too early, you really pay for it in the final stages of that race, which we saw from Leclos. He is so amazing, his underwater work, Leclos, but that was just a brilliant last 25 from Clarebert.
Gave himself every chance, didn't he? Had a brilliant turn, Leclos, and in the end, that was the distance that needed to be made up, and Clarebert made it up.
And you saw Chad Leclos taking a look, as I mentioned that he does traditionally, but for Chad Leclos, if you actually compare his first 50 metres to the last 50 metres, the stroke's entirely different. And when it's different, when I'm talking about that, the difference is he was longer, he had a good bounce to it. When it came to that last 50, it may have been a great 15 metres underwater, but the 50 itself, he was tight. He was struggling to get through.
Their piano was coming down on his back. He really shortened up in the final 10 metres, didn't he?
Not the kind of music he wanted to hear.
So not for the first time. Lewis Clarebert out of the water victorious. And the Kiwis are having a great time of it at the pool.